Deadlines. We all have them, and so we need to talk about them. Finish your homework by Friday. Work hard until the weekend. And you can't have any fun unless you're done doing what you have to do. By, until, and unless. Let's check it out.
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 800. Wow! Deadlines with by, until, and unless. We use the words by, until, and unless to talk about a deadline. But the way we use these words can be a pain in the neck for a lot of English learners. Fear not, my friends. For today's English lesson podcast, we're going to do a deep dive into these similar but tricky common vocabulary words. Let's start off with by. Something finishes or ends by a certain time. When you finish something by a certain time, by a certain day, or by a certain date, you complete the action when that deadline comes. The key point that I want you to understand here is that we use by with verbs that show one-time actions, or verbs that mean finishing or ending, like you can finish by, end by, complete by, arrive by, start by, go by, and so on. We use by with verbs like those, followed by one point in time. Like your boss might say, "Please complete that report by 5 o'clock on Friday." Or you may ask a friend, "Can you finish work by 6 o'clock tonight? If so, we can catch a movie." Or, if we arrive at the station by 3 p.m., we can catch the express train. On the other hand, something continues or keeps going until a certain time. When you continue something until a certain time, until a certain day, or until a certain date, you continue doing that action and then stopping when the deadline comes. In cases like these, we use until with verbs that show continuous actions. Like, you can continue until, stay until, work until, have until, and do something until a certain time. We use until with verbs like those followed by one point in time. Like, the boss might say, "You have until Friday to complete that report." Or you may tell a friend, "Hey, I'm working until 6 tonight, so let's try to catch a movie after that." Or we have until 3 p.m. to arrive at the station to catch the express train. Let's look at two of these examples. The boss said, "Please complete that report by Friday." Or the boss said, "You have until Friday to complete that report." Complete it by Friday or you have until Friday. The basic meaning is the same. The deadline is Friday. The difference is that when you say by Friday, the emphasis is on the deadline, which is Friday. When you say you have until Friday, the emphasis is on the time between now and the deadline. That's the basic difference between by and until. It's all about the emphasis. By the way, you can also use until with a negative verb. Like, we can't start the meeting until the boss gets here. Something can't happen until another thing happens first. The repairman said that he can't finish this repair until the parts arrive. Or, we won't start this new marketing plan until the boss tells us to do it. I remember when I was a kid and there were presents under the Christmas tree. My parents would tell us that we can't open them until Christmas morning. Using until with a negative verb like this tells us that we basically need to wait for something in order to do another thing. And finally for today, and speaking of negative sentences, we have unless. Unless doesn't talk about a time deadline like until and by. We use unless to talk about a condition and a result. The condition needs to happen, and if it doesn't, well, the result will not happen. Like, I don't want to buy a new phone unless it has a long battery life. This means if the phone has a long battery life, I'll buy it. Otherwise, no way. Here's another example. I won't go to the party unless you come with me. Donna is very careful about how she spends money. She said that she can't take a vacation unless she has enough money saved up for it. That's smart. Keep in mind, the best way to remember English like this, and any other word or phrase in English, is to take that word or phrase, write it in a sentence that's true for you or true in your world, and then memorize your sentences. Did you know you can get more practice using your English when you join my Podcast Learners Study Group? There, you can make new friends. Join us for live group lessons every week where we practice these podcast lessons together. Plus, you get access to the PDF transcript and audio download for every Happy English podcast in the past and in the future. And on top of that, each episode has exercises where you can practice this English point with speaking and writing checked by me. To learn more, just visit myhappyenglish.com and check out podcast lesson 800. Remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible. And I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.